Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in between and adjacent, welcome to the Rush Rundown, what I believe is the first and only 10-minute testing ripoff for Rush Duels. Today, we're going back to the basics, taking a look back at a previous powerhouse from the original release of Rush. A new spin on the original ace monster of Yu-Gi-Oh! Odo. Please allow me to introduce to you Seven's Paladin.
Seven's Paladin!
This is the part of the video where I tell you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Alright, so we're back with another deck recommended by the comments section. Once again, I would like to remind you, if there's a deck you would like to see me feature on this series, leave a comment in the comments below, and I will most definitely make a video on it. I am so far 100% on all requests, so can't help or hurt to leave a request down below. Now, with that said, let's take a look at Seven's Paladin. So Spellcasters was a pretty good deck on release. It was definitely the meta on the original release of Rush. As well, it actually had come back into the spotlight in the previous format, the pre-Cyber Dragon format, as a big sleeper. So people didn't really expect much from Spellcasters. They didn't really think about it very much, but it did get some decent support that did make it pretty good back then. However, with the most recent update, as of recording, that is, Spellcasters are back and better than ever. The card I have on screen right now, the 7th Paladin, is the new linchpin of a deck. Now, this deck is actually pretty interesting. It plays very similar to the original Spellcasters deck, not really changing a lot up, but there are a couple key cards I would like to go over here that really sets it apart from the other deck. Anyway, what better place to start than our skill? Our skill is 7-star Road. Can be activated with all the monsters with 1400 more attack in your constructed deck are spellcaster type monsters, and all monsters in your constructed extra deck are dark attribute monsters. If you have a Swordsman or Road Star face on your field, either add one fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, or one 7-star Magician from your deck to your hand, or choose one face up 7-star Witch to your field. This turn, that monster inflicts piercing battle damage. Now, the first effect. We need our normal monster, Swordsman or Road Star, basically on field, to basically do anything with the skill. To get fusion from grave, or get fusion from deck, or we can just use the search 7 roads if we just want to tribute summon a 7's road. It's pretty simple. Of course, what we're trying to summon is 7th Paladin. He has the basics of 7's road effect with a little bit extra, so let me read that. Send the top card, you deck to the graveyard. Same as 7's road. This card gains attack equal to the number of different attributes in both players' graveyards times 400 at the end of this turn. Or you can shuffle one monster from graveyard into the deck and draw a card. Where 7th Paladin kind of shines over Magician is that he gains attack based on both graveyards, which is absolutely crazy. You'll see in our replays later that we've gone up to 4,900 in those replays, which is insane. As well, the second effect, you shuffle a monster from your graveyard into the deck, could be used to recycle the 7's Road Magician, because other than that, we don't have any other way to really do that outside of Seal Array. There's no other good cards that will give us the similar effect. So even if you're not pushing into damage, if you're just pushing into a defensive wall, you can still make the 7th Paladin just to have the recycling to maybe find something like a Stream to pop back row, Tribute to the Doom to help clear your hand and take out a big monster, or maybe find one of your back row. We have our 3 7's Road Magician. We have our 1 Legend, the Magician's Valkyria. 3 7's Road Witch, and now we have the first piece of new support that, as I said, brought the deck to meta playability in the previous format, is 7's Road Sorcerer. And this card is an absolute house and was severely underestimated when he was revealed. Now, I'm going to read what he does because he is very important to our deck. Send 3 face-up monsters from your field to the graveyard. Special summon 1 level 7 or lower spellcaster type monster from your graveyard, face up to your field. If you special summon 7's Road Magician by this effect, you can special summon 1 7's Road Witch from your graveyard, face up to your field. 3 Essel, we can play Essel, so we are playing Essel. 2 Necroman the Third. A lot of people play this guy at 1, but I decided to play him at 3 to basically consider him as an extra copy of Swordsman or Road Star. We're on 3 Mystic Dealers, and then we are on their normal monsters, 1 Arrow Sorcerer, 1 Earth Sorcerer. These guys are just here for their attributes. We want the multiple attributes for the boost effect, like I said, with our Dark Monster here. 3 Swordsman Roadstar. We need to see him, so it's very important, which is why our deck effectively plays 5 of him. Our legend spell of choice is Tribute to the Doomed. You could play Monster Reincarnation in this slot, honestly. This is pretty much a flex spot, to be real. We're on 3 of our Spellcaster MST, the 1 Talismanic Seal Array. We're on 1 Poly. Sorry. We're on 1 Fusion. Now, the reason we're only playing 1 is just because the skill pulls it out of the graveyard. We are on Negate Attack, we have our Buffered Slime, and we are on 1 Card Restoration. Anyway, that's the deck. So why don't we check out some games? Alright, we're here for our game number 1, and you can see our opponent is also playing Yuga. You'll notice from our opponent's extra deck and the fact that this skill just popped as I was talking, they're actually playing Maximum Overload, which is a pretty big blast from the past. A previous best of best decks, coming back here as we try to go back to basics as well with Seven's Road Magician. You can see our opening hand is pretty bad. We're going to go ahead and just Windmill Slam this Essel. Hopefully we can find something decent. And we found something alright. We got Seven's Road Witch. We're just going to go ahead and activate our skill, 7-star Road, after summoning the Swordsman Roadstar, so we can get a 7 Road Magician. We at least have something to do with this hand. Go ahead and summon the 7 Road Magician. And they don't have a lot of cards in the field, so we're just going to summon our bigger monster here and swing in. We're hoping to be able to get into damage with 7 Road Magician, so we're swinging in with the Witch. You can see that they also had set a 7 Road off the effect of the Maximum Overload. They have the Musical Princess. I don't like Musical Princess. I'd recommend not playing that. So we have to swing in with our 7 Road Magician and we deal no damage. Now, this actually could save us. It's not really that smart to swing in for little bits of damage into Max Overload, as they could quite easily just maximum summon their monster if they're like playing their tools right. But we can see that the opponent does not have that, and they're actually just contesting the board by crashing into everything. Not great. They clearly didn't draw too well off there, and then they max overloaded for Torna of all things, which is not bad. But I would think maybe you want to tribute summon the Torna just to get more cards out of your hand. Anyway, so we open Valkyria in Magical Stream. Throw on and pop the back row. Seal Array, completely fake. Summon our Road Stars. We're just going to go ahead and use the skill, get another 7's Road. This is pretty much free damage, so we are going to go ahead and summon these 7's Road. And then just, use our skill and swing in. Like I was saying, it's not that smart to, kind of like draw attack in on Max Overload. But to be honest, I wasn't very scared of what our opponent could do. They had already shuffled back, a couple pieces, and they didn't seem like they hadn't really seen anything. So I always thought we could play a little risky, so we can just get out of here on our next turn. So they go ahead and draw for the turn. They're only drawing 4 because they left a card in hand for whatever reason. I'm assuming that might have been a Max Overload piece. Kind of, maybe they were betting on getting all the pieces. Seems like they only got back row and Dark Magician Girl. Again, they hold that 1 card in their hand. But 2 back rows should keep them pretty much safe. Maybe they can try and go for a Max Overload play on the next turn if they can, just find the other pieces. And we go ahead and rip a Magic Stream. So go ahead and pop the back row. It was a Slime. Go ahead and summon the 7's Road Witch. Witch effect, summon 7's Road Magician. And honestly, we are getting out of this game without ever seeing the 7's Paladin. Honestly, the deck is still pretty competent without the 7's Paladin, but it also just gives us a searchable 7's Road, which is pretty good on its own. However, we just played very hard in the gate attack. So they're getting out of it for this turn, and they get to keep their DMG on field. Now this is where I'm saying getting Max Overload really low is kind of scary. If they just rip the Max Monster, we were pretty much screwed there. They're going to go ahead, hit your piece, lower one of our 7's Road, summon Torna, go ahead and summon Valkyria. Go ahead and swing in, they eat our board. There goes everything. We're kind of in a rough spot here after whiffing lethal. So go ahead and draw, and oh my god, the perfect draw. If you thought we were not seeing 7's Paladin, you were wrong. Go ahead, summon the entire hand. Send 3 for 7's Sorcerer. Summon our guys back. Normal summon Roadstar, 7-star Road, and Fusion. Fusion effect. We're going to go ahead and summon the 7's Paladin. And now it's pretty much just established lethal. I'm not great at math, so I just went ahead and set our last monster just because, like, if we somehow don't do it, I'm not going to risk dying. Anyway, 4900 right over the Valkyria, which is the only card we can attack there, and that's game. Bit of a longer one there, to be honest. This deck really excels at the grind game, so seeing long game shouldn't really surprise you there. Alright, we're here for game number 2, and our opponent is unfortunately on Cyber Dragon. You see, we are still feeling the woes of not hitting King of Games, so we are just constantly matching against people who are attempting to hit King of Games. And what better deck to attempt than the deck that just makes it super easy. Our opening here was pretty bad, so we just tribute set a 7's Road and tried to empty out the hand. We opened 2 of them, which is really whack. But you can see, somehow, the Cyber Dragon player did not open Cyber Dragon. So, we'll go ahead and draw since we magically survived, and we got an even worse hand. Go ahead and summon Mystic Dealer, draw, get another Mystic Dealer. We're just seeing 3 ofs after 3 ofs after 3 ofs. Not good, and not what we want to see. Go ahead and Mystic Dealer once again. At least we finally found a back row. We can go ahead and use 7's Road. I didn't pop both 7's Road effects because I was trying to play around a possible widespread ruin, which would basically, you know, I'd lose one, and then it's just not worth it for the minimal amount of damage we were going to get. Anyway, the opponent also is just finding their draw guys one after another. So they tribute summon a Cyber Dragon, they pop our back row, that sucks, that was our only pretty much defense there. They summon a Cyber Assault Dragon. Thankfully, we will not lose any 7's Row Magicians because we only have 2100 attack. We go ahead and summon 2 more monsters, just getting their hand emptied, and we only lose 2 monsters. Keeping 7's Row is very good for us, and especially when the opponent has 0 back row. Let's go ahead and draw for turn. Amazing hand, which means it is 7's Paladin time. Go ahead and activate Fusion. Just raw summon the 7's Paladin. Here he comes. There he is. As well, we have a defensive play, and we have Magician's Valkyria. 1 blank, and an actual useful card. Go ahead and mill. 4900. Swing over. Deal 25 to them in 1 shot. Beautiful. Getting them low is really good for us because we can swing for such big damage. If they break our board here, we're basically in the clear to then just crack back up. Now they found another Proto Cyber Dragon, they found the Cyber Entry, and they summon Cyber End Dragon. Unfortunately for the opponent, that is not going to be very good against us, as a simple negate attack clears that. Go ahead and pop the back row with our set MST Tribute Summon 7's Road Witch. We don't really need to do this, but we're just going to go ahead and swing over with 7,000 effect, 4900, and punch them with Witch for a game. Not the best showing from our Cyber Dragon opponent, but a win over the meta is a win for us. Alright, here we are, game 3, and you know what that means. 1v1 versus Cyber Dragon. Now, this Cyber Dragon opponent's opened a little more than our previous one. As you can see, they opened Proto, Summon, Search, and Pass there. Now, I say they opened more, but really, this board is pretty much nothing. We go ahead and tribute the Doomed, that Search Dragon, but you'll notice our hand is equally poor. Go ahead and pop the back row as a Cyber Entry. Oh my god, if we let that stay on field, you're pretty much screwed. And we swing in for 2000. Now, we had a really poor hand there, and basically we are in danger of just dying. Honestly, we're in danger of just dying. They go ahead and set 3 and pass. I don't know what cards they were saving in their hand, but thankfully it is not Cyber Dragons. I'm assuming they just saw their entire spell trap suite and are just activating and setting whatever they possibly can. Anyway, our second hand is marginally better. So we go ahead and summon 2 7-star witches, summon our Swordsman of Roadstar. We're going to go ahead and actually use the skill to search 7-star magician, but we are not summoning him. I am fully aware that this back row is 1,000,000% real. So we just swing in with our witches. They flip over their buffered slime, and I was very smart to do this. So now we have a guaranteed 7-star magician for the next turn, meaning if we see a Swordsman or Roadstar, we have a guaranteed 7th Paladin to swing over what is most likely going to be a board with Cyber Twin Dragon on it. As you see, they found another Proto Cyber Dragon. I believe that is their third. They summoned Cyber Assault. We're still protected from Cyber Assault. They go and pop a back row, which our back row is nothing. Activate the skill, and you'll realize, yes, they were just bricking on trap cards. Now, they still have a pretty decent house here on field, and they have 3 most likely real back row. We draw again, and would you look at that? We can now summon the 7's Paladin. Go ahead and use this B7 for Witch Skill, the 7/7's Road Magician. Use Fusion. Here comes 7's Paladin. There he is. Go ahead and set a monster, because we gotta empty our hand. Activate the effect. Unfortunately, we will negate attack, but we have our other 2 back row. We set them, and we walk right into the negate attack. As I said, it was pretty obvious that the entire back row was going to be real no matter what. Now they just have 2 unknowns. They go ahead and draw Cyber Entry for turn. Oh my god, must be nice. Barrage of Steel, pop our back row. Revealed the other set was another Barrage of Steel, and the final set was Tribute to the Doom, popping our entire back row and our 7's Paladin. Oh my god, they are decimating us. They go ahead and Tribute Summon Ancient Gear Golem. We are in a really bad spot, and then I remember, oh wait, they use Cyber Entry this turn, so this Ancient Gear Golem cannot attack. And we go ahead and draw for turn, and this is really rough. We are legitimately just basically kind of walling up. We have to use the skill to search a 7-star magician. After we reborn Swordsman of Roadstar off the Necroman, we go ahead and activate the effect. 30-100, just swing over. We just need to get rid of this Ancient Gear Golem. That's the only thing that can kill us here. Opponent goes ahead and draws. They draw Cyber Entry again. Oh my god. Cyber Dragons try not to draw the out. Challenge impossible. But activate the skill. They haven't added Proto back. So they add Proto back off the skill. That's their once per duel. Summon Proto. You go, oh my god, it's time. Here's Cyber Twin. And I am just thinking, I am dead. I am completely dead. I'm drawing 2 cards this turn. There's 5 cards left in the deck. And they have the absolute powerhouses of Cyber Twin and Cyber Assault Dragon on field. What could I possibly draw? Oh. We draw the 7-star Sorcerer. Go ahead. Summon 2 monsters. 7-star Sorcerer effect. Bring back 7-star Magician. Bring back the Witch. In defense, because she can't do anything in attack. Roadstar. Add the Fusion back. Wait a second. Are we back? Are we so back? Fusion. Summon 7's Paladin. Here we go. There he is. 7's Paladin goes to a massive 4,500 attack. We swing into the Assault Dragon, and their last back row is fake because they've spent all the real ones already. An insane clutch comeback there. Completely off the back of 7's Road Sorcerer. So we're back with the deck. And hey, that looked really good. Now, let's go over the pros and cons. First, the pros. This deck is excellent in the grind game. Constantly being able to put a monster on field to beat over pretty much anything the opponent can end on is very nice. Being able to recur key pieces out of the graveyard super consistently as well is very nice for the deck. As well, we are pretty well situated to play against Cyber Dragon, actually. 7's Road and all our other monsters aside from the Paladin are pretty much immune to Cyber Assault Dragon, which is really nice for us. That card is so dangerous in other matchups as well. We just have access to a lot of decent tools that I'm not even featuring in this deck. Like, the biggest tool I'm featuring in the deck is 7th Sorcerer and Necroman III. Like, these are the tool pieces I put into the deck, but there are many others for different, like, variants in the game. The cons, this deck actually, because it's so good in the grind game, even losing games end up being very long. It just has, like, really long duels. That's, like, the biggest problem with the deck. It's so back and forth in a good way that the duels take long. And most rush decks, you know, they're supposed to be fast. You're supposed to go through everything really fast. But with the way this deck keeps grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, you find yourself just being at, like, turn 10 and it's been like 5-6 minutes, when a normal duel would most likely be over already. As well, we have a lot of pieces of the deck that just don't feel good to have. 7's Road Witch is kind of mandatory, and she feels really bad to just leave on the field. She doesn't really do much, honestly, for the deck, besides being specifically named in some different parts of the deck, as well as being able to just summon out 7's Road Magician for us. It's really awkward. It's really awkward. Hopefully something more comes from the deck in the future. It's pretty good now, but I would like to see maybe something to do with 7's Road Witch. Maybe some new cards that make us want to play more of the specifically named 7's Road archetype. But as it is, like I said, I like the deck. I really enjoy the deck. This has actually been a deck I've been looking forward to playing for a long time now. And I just didn't really have the time to do it outside of the videos I'm making for other decks. Which, speaking of videos for other decks, like I said at the top, if there's a deck you would like to see me feature on this series, leave that in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.